Okay then guys, so after releasing a couple of Project Magnum aka the first Descendant videos of recent, we've seen quite a few comments misconstruing what it is that the game is exactly. So today we're going to be giving you guys a load of information which has actually been available for quite some time and shutting down a load of those rumours. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on, it'd be greatly appreciated. With that being said, let's dive in to the nitty gritty. Also, if you're watching this on release, we are currently live on Twitch. We may be playing some Destiny, maybe playing some other games. Feel free to come and check it out. The link will be down in the description. I'll see you guys over there. So as of October 11th, 2021, we received a load of information with regards to the first Descendant. Now the tweet was quite an old one, and this was why it didn't gain much traction. Therefore, the game was not really on anybody's radar. So it only has around 44 likes and a absolutely obliterating thread that has got no more than about 10 likes per post. This is probably why people's conception and contemplation around the game is actually completely misconstrued. As we know, Nexon is kind of one of those companies that when you see a free-to-play game, you expect it to be a sort of pay-to-win service model with a load of loot boxes and stuff like that. However, that doesn't actually seem to be the case, so we can shut that rumor down right here, right now. They did state that they are contemplating a live service model for Project Magnum, aka the first Descendant, and considering different possibilities. They do hope to be able to discuss this more soon with a deeper into their development stages. As for what that is, we've not seen any news upon the live service development program, so we're kind of sat in the dark with that one as far as I'm aware. We don't know if this is going to be a play and done or if this is going to be a live service modeling. But on the basis of talking about the pay to win scheduling, the way that people seem to think that because this is a free to play, this means that we are going to be paying out a absolute buttload through the teeth for any microtransaction. They have stated in black and white that there will be no pay to win microtransactions or loot box dependent progression in the works for Project Magnum in the long run. They are still in a movement of that being the case, and what they can say for sure is that they don't have any plans to adopt a loot box based pay to win service model, which will hurt our intended users' experience, which is always quite a very big output. On that, what they do state is that it takes the inspiration from a number of looter shooters such as Destiny, Anthem, Warframe and Outriders. However, it is much more because it does blend their experiences into a single offering. Hence, players should not expect the same live service model as any one of those games. Now, what that does mean is it means that we're not probably going to get any live service modeling such as Destiny 2, which would be quite interesting to see how that actually works. And obviously, Outriders isn't a live service game and Anthem does not exist anymore. So let's hope it's not anything like those two. Yeah. Now, what they are focused on is the online cooperative gameplay, just like Destiny and Outriders, but some elements make it a bit different from the two games as an overall. In addition, the developer remains focused on creating amazing experiences for the players in terms of content. Now, this next one is quite a broad statement indeed, but what they do say is that they can focus on the factor that it will not only offer a co-op through matchmaking like Outriders, but also aims to allow users to enjoy the multiplayer in various circumstances. What that kind of says to me is we are expected to see a little bit more of a movement in dependable areas and stuff like that, like Destiny and Destiny 2 with like the tower and stuff, where it's not all focused around the matchmaking movement. On top of that, what they also state is although this being an absolute blend of Destiny and Outriders, as fans are calling it, the Project Magnum aka First Descendant will mostly be about the player versus environment aka PvE and not player versus player PvP, at least for the time being. Now, this statement was made in October 2021, so I don't know if this is going to be outstanding, but they do state that NetGames is not scratching out PvP, but details of which, if any, will be shared once development reaches its final stages. And as of right now, in August 2022, we are yet to hear anything with regards to the PvP movement as an overall. They are aware that the rising need for player versus player content, but they are more focused on creating an amazing experience for the PvE side and making it a little bit more of a beneficial for a looter shooter in the genre at this point. Now this next bit does actually get me a little bit intrigued, as I don't know if we've got anything like this as of yet, but do expect it with the release being around this year. But it does state, for a game like PM, the need for an impressive post-release content roadmap becomes important in order to keep players engaged for as long as possible. Fans can keep their fingers crossed that there will be no lack of new and exciting content either at release or down the road. This is massive news on a basis of expecting something from a looter shooter, as most looter shooters generally get it wrong, but they do seem to be focusing quite heavily on the level of content that they're willing to push out, and the fact that they're kind of looking at all of the looter shooters in the genre at the moment and pushing out a little bit of each one, which is something for maybe the last 4 or 5 years I've been waiting for a company to really do. Looter shooters generally come, then they mess it up and they go, but when we are looking at it on a basis, I've always made a statement that there should be a looter shooter out there that looks at individual aspects of every one that we've got at the moment, including Borderlands, Destiny, Outriders, Anthem, and takes the best parts of each one, compiles it into one game which could hopefully be the top dog, and the first Descendant does definitely look like it's going to be an interesting one. So this is something which really looks quite interesting, and with the post being so old that it only had like 2 or 3 responses on the whole thing, I'm going to leave the link down in the description for you guys to go and give it a bit of a boost, give it a bit of a bump up, if you want to call it that, as this is a lot of information which people generally do need to hear. A lot of people are saying at the moment a free-to-play live service game or a free-to-play looter shooter is going to be primarily run on a pay-to-win microtransaction or loot box dependent progression, and that just doesn't seem to be the case whatsoever. Actually, it looks like Nexon have really decided to stay as far away from that as possible and really focus heavily on the content that's inside of it. What that means for any sort of profit margins and how the game's going to be making money, I am really unsure, as it does seem to be a bit of a confusing statement to make such early on in the development process, and maybe they have turned their mind around on it and there might be microtransactions or loot boxes, but we are yet to have any sort of engagement around this and any sort of announcement with regards to any changes in that sector. So as of right now, all I have is the black and white from their original Twitters and actually pushing it into a collaboration of what it should be. This, if this is true, will be absolutely amazing. As to where the funding will come from and how they're going to keep this live service running, we will have to wait and see. And if anybody from Nexon wants to get in a call or wants to have a conversation about maybe pushing some information out there and what it is that's going to be happening, I am 100% down to work. Let's get this stuff going, guys. I'm really excited for this one. The first Descendant is going to be a game highly anticipated for 2022 and moving forward. Hopefully this can break through the looter shooter absolute horror curse. Where they come, they die, they go. Thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate all your faces. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on, and come and check us out over on Twitch. The link's in the description. I'll see you guys over there. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.